Hello, everyone. All right, so welcome, and we have about 4 minutes until we get started. So if you have some time, or you do have some time to grab some makeshift props, and I'll remind you guys all, make sure that you can see my camera or see my mat well enough. There we go. All right, so just a reminder from last week to grab maybe your jars of Jif peanut butter, or if you do have blocks, grabbing some blocks, grabbing a towel possibly, or a dog leash, or maybe even if you do have a yoga strap, if you want to grab that, and of course your mat, and we'll get together in about 3 more minutes, and we'll see you soon. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I hope that you can hear me. My name is Kirsten, and we are going to get started. Let me just give you a few little tips, I guess, or just a few things before we start. First of all, just a reminder that this is a yoga practice, so it is not about perfection. There are things that I will tell you during class today that will I really want you to be mindful of, to stay safe in a pose. But again, we're not looking for, you don't need to be thinking about this is not perfect, because that's not what it's about. In fact, there are always ways to modify, and I will show you some different modifications. Please do what you need to do in your space to modify. So my practice is just really not about the ability to stand on your head at some point. It is instead to be able to move the way that you need to move as you begin to, as you move through life. And let's see, a couple other things. Support your local business. On Monday, I will have a virtual class through Unwind on White here in Wake Forest. So it'll be online, but Unwind is in Wake Forest. So please feel free to join me on Monday night at 7:30 for that. Support Highwire Brewing in Durham. I miss you guys in Durham. And I also miss you guys at Williams Mullen, the attorney firm that I teach at downtown. So a couple of shout outs that I want to do today. In this time where we're all kind of apart, we really still are connected. And I have my friend Theo down the street, who is 5, that is practicing with us today. He and his mom, Christine. So they are my neighbors. So we have 5-year-old. And then my mom should be practicing with us. Hopefully, Mom, you are online. And look, I'm wearing white today instead of black, so you can see my legs. And she's in her 70s, as is one of my favorite people in the world, Bev. She's in her 70s as well and has been practicing with me for 11 years. So welcome, everyone. The wide range of ages and abilities, we are all connected. All right, so with that all said, hopefully you have your props, your makeshift props. I have a couple of things with me here today that I'll use, but if you need to step away to get those props, feel free to do that. We'll use some props today. So welcome. Thank you for being here. And let's start on our backs. I just feel like that's a really good place to start. I'm going to stay seated, but if you'll please lay all the way back on your back, and we will start there. So, in fact, let's take a couple of breaths as we hold on this position on our backs. Couple of deep breaths. And these breaths, generally in yoga, we breathe in and out through the nose. But today, for these first couple of breaths, let's breathe in through the nose, deep breath, and then open mouth, sigh it out, let it all go. Again, inhaling here, full breath. Exhaling. Beautiful, you guys. Now, sealing your lips. Continue to breathe those full breaths, but in and out through the nose here. And you won't hear my voice for just a couple of, probably a minute or so. But we will join back up together after you take some time just to center in and relax and breathe. Bring that awareness to your breath. Stay focused on that inhale and exhale, that gentle flow. All right, and then from here, let's do a nice long stretch. So I'm going to join you on my back. Just remember in this Facebook Live stuff, my video is actually opposite of yours. So just listen for cues on right and left. So I'm going to join you on my back, and we're going to do a nice long stretch together, reaching your fingertips in one direction and your toes in the other direction. Feel that stretch. And then hug your knees into your chest, wrap your arms around your legs, maybe draw your nose up to your knees, making yourself as small as you can here. Again, stretching out nice and long, fingertips in one direction, toes in the other. And then exhaling, pulling the knees in, maybe drawing your nose up to your knees, or maybe you release your head back down to your mat or keep it on your mat. And from here, if it is up, now if you will drop your head gently to the mat and just rock a little side to side, maybe draw circles on the ceiling with your knees, maybe hug them in as tight as you can. Maybe those circles go in the same direction, maybe they go in opposite. There are so many ways to make this happen. Perfect, and then we are rocking and rolling ourselves up to seated. So come on up. And let's find that seated posture. So finding a comfortable seated posture. And if you need to add a little prop, feel free to add a prop here. All right, so again, don't worry necessarily about the side if you are watching me on video. Instead, just listen. We're going to place our right hand to the mat. Extend your left arm up and over. Nice long stretch. Good. Inhale to come center and exhale. Let's switch to the other side. Just staying nice and long through the limbs. So reaching that arm out. Inhale to come center and exhale. Let's switch to that other side. Beautiful. One more time. Inhale, center, and exhale. Let's switch. Inhale, center. Exhale to fold yourself forward. So walk those fingertips straight out in front. And it might be that you keep the fingertips straight out in front. Maybe you walk your hands to one side and then to the other. Relax your head and neck here. And then walking your hands back in, let's switch the position of our legs. So opposite leg comes in front. And let's do an inhale up. As you exhale, you're going to twist to your right. So twisting to your right and then placing your left hand on your right knee. Teacup your right fingertips behind you. Inhaling to sit taller, exhaling, see if you can twist just a teeny bit more. So using your breath here to get a nice twist. Inhale to come center and exhale. We'll twist the body first and then bring your hand to your knee. Opposite arm behind you so that you can teacup those fingertips. Make sure you're not leaning back onto the fingertips. Instead, just use those fingertips as a little lever to get that twist. Using your breath as well. Inhaling to sit a little bit taller. Exhaling, twist just a teeny bit more. Perfect. Now, inhaling to come back up to center. We're going to fold forward here. So hinge from your hip, lengthen out, and then we'll drop those fingertips gently to your mat. Walking them straight out in front again, or you have those options to walk your hands to one side and then to the other. So finding here what feels really good this morning. What do you need? Perfect. All right, now let's walk onto all fours. Come to all fours. So to your hands and knees. Making sure that your hands are directly underneath your shoulders. Your knees are underneath your hips. And let's move through a few rounds of cat and cow here. So inhaling to find your cow pose. Bring your tailbone up, chin up. Take a full breath. As you exhale, round out through the spine. Tuck the chin in and tailbone under. Again, inhaling to find your cow pose. Full breath. And exhaling to find cat. Good. Do a few more rounds at your own breath rate. And right here, finding whatever else might feel good. So it might be that a little bit more through the shoulders would feel good, a little more through the neck, maybe adding a little bit of a drop toward the hips for a little version of child's pose. But what feels good? Just moving your body the way you need to move to warm up through the spine, to warm up through the shoulders. I'm really about warming up, so we'll do plenty of things to warm up here. All right, now from here, we'll press back and find an extended child's pose. The arms can be straight out in front with the palms facing down. You could rotate your palms to face up, an external rotation for the shoulders. You could walk your hands to one side here, press a little extra weight into that opposite hip, and then you could switch to the other side. All right, so we'll stay here a few breaths. It might feel good to rock a little through the hips. It might feel good to massage through the forehead if the forehead reaches the floor. Good. And then let's return to all fours. So come to your hands and knees. And just a reminder, at any point during our practice, child's pose is an excellent place to land should you need a little extra rest. So make sure that you take advantage of that child's pose when needed. All right, so right here, we are going to, let's extend the left leg back. So again, just pressing your left leg back. It might look like my right leg. And right here, we're going to do a little rotation. So now you're going to rotate. So now that you are turning toward the left side of your room, the right foot, you are kind of kickstanding that foot behind you. So we're finding a modified version of side plank right here. So you have your knee directly underneath your hip. You're extending that top arm up, maybe reaching toward the wall in front of you. Good. And you can relax that back foot. So the toes could be curled under here, or you could relax the foot. Now, here's a challenge for you. It's completely up to you. Maybe you lift that leg that's connected to the mat. Maybe you lift that leg up. So maybe this is now a modified version or a variation of half moon pose. And from here, maybe you bend the knee. Maybe you reach around and grab the top part of that foot and find a modified version of that candy or sugar cane variation of this pose. So completely up to you. There were so many ways that we could do this. And so we started off with a very gentle way, and you find what feels best for you. Please. All right, now we are going to switch to the other side. So just coming back to all fours, and I'm actually going to turn so that I can continue to face y'all. All right, right here now, extending that right leg back. And then doing that rotation so that you're facing the opposite side, extending up. And again, you're finding this modified version of side plank pose. The knee directly underneath the hip bone. And maybe this is where you stay. Maybe you reach your arm forward and feel that nice long stretch here. Or maybe you lift that leg up and you find this variation of half moon. Maybe you bend the knee, reach around, grab the top part of the foot and find this sugar cane variation. And so we are practicing this because you may know, you may have figured out that we are going to do half moon for one of our balance poses today, and we'll have the option to do the sugar cane variation as well. All right, so releasing, coming back to all fours. And from here, I'm going to turn around again. Let's walk forward and come all the way out onto our stomachs. All right, so from your stomach, we are going to stretch out and open up through the back body, or strengthen, I should say, and stretch out through the front body. Yes, that's what it is. All right, so hands are underneath your shoulders. Your legs are ground to the floor, so the legs are not involved here. Inhale to peel the front of the body up. Float your hands, engage your back body. So strengthening through the back body again, ground your legs down, and then exhale to lower. 2 more just like that. Inhale to peel the front of the body up. Good, floating your hands. And exhale to lower down. Good, 1 more time. Inhale to peel up, floating your hands. And exhale to lower down. Good. Now from here, we are going to let's find a Sphinx pose. So the forearms are going to come forward. The elbows are directly underneath your shoulders. Your hands are to the mat. And you can draw your forearms back and really open up through the front body here. This is Sphinx pose. This is a variation of a back bend, or a back bend that you can choose once we start to flow. Okay. And then lower yourself down. And slide your hands back underneath your shoulders, on your knees or on your toes. Let's press up to a modified plank or a plank pose. Curl your toes under and let's find our first down dog. So in your down dog, really noticing here your position. And you may want to shift your weight and find plank and then shift back. That's a really good indication of where the hands and the feet should land. So you should have that same distance between your hands and feet for plank as you do for down dog. There should really not need to be any adjusting. So in your down dog, feel free to walk the dog here, gently pressing one heel toward the floor at a time. Try to get some length through those calves. And then press both heels toward the floor. Press your chest toward your thighs. Press yourself away from your hands. Your hands are shoulder width apart. Your feet are about hip bone width apart. And now let's do a shift. We are going to find plank. Take a full breath in here. As you exhale, return to down dog. Good. And then let's walk our hands and our feet together. Find a standing forward bend. All right, so this is where you may decide using your blocks or using your cans of Jif peanut butter. No, I'm not getting paid to support Jif. In fact, my mom is probably really upset that this is not natural peanut butter. These are rocks. All right. So right here, just folding yourself forward using your props. All right. So whether that be, and if you don't need props, then maybe you cradle your elbows here and gently sway from side to side. If you are tight through the hamstrings though, and a lot of us, if we've been sitting all week, a lot of the week, and even if we haven't, even if we've been doing a lot of walking, I've seen a ton of people walking, hamstrings can be pretty tight right now. So it's a great opportunity, in fact, not just with yoga this morning, but any time that you get an opportunity just to fold yourself forward during the week. Take time to do that. All right, so right here, relaxing the upper body. And now we are going to do a slow roll up. If you need support for your back, place your hands to your thighs. Let's roll all the way up to stand. And now I have come off sorry you guys. Let me adjust this a little bit more. All right. Yay. Okay. So right here with your, go to the front end of your mat. I'm going to stay facing you guys, but from the front end of your mat, bring your feet about hip bone width apart. We'll inhale to bring the arms up, full breath in. As you exhale, we're going to fold forward. So hinge forward, lead with the heart, come all the way down. Inhale, reverse swan dive, come all the way up. Exhale, bring your arms back down to your side. Good. Inhale, let's add a back bend. Inhale the arms up, exhale, back bend. Inhale to lengthen up, exhale, dive yourself forward. Placing your hands either on your shins or on your blocks or whatever may be helpful here, not directly on your knee joint though. Inhale, halfway lift up, so lifting your body up halfway. And exhale to fold yourself forward. Good, now we are going to step back to a plank or a modified version of plank, and this is where we're going to flow together. So shifting your weight forward, lower yourself down and inhale up to find your back bend. Your back bend might be Sphinx pose that we practiced earlier. Your back bend may be cobra. It may be up dog. So making sure that you find what feels best here for you. You. All right? Not perfection, what you need for your body. All right, choosing here to go right to down dog, or you can lower down, press yourself up to plank, and then find down dog. Now, let's inhale the right leg up the back wall. As you exhale, bring the knee in and step the foot through. Check your front knee. Your knee should be right over your heel, and then let's drop the back knee to the floor. Relax the back foot. So right here, finding this space between your right heel and your left knee, and then creating that diagonal line. Sending the hips or releasing the hips forward, get that stretch. So once again, if you've been sitting a lot this last week or these weeks, make sure that you are taking some time to stretch through the hip flexors. They will become tight. Sometimes that contributes to back pain. All right, and then let's inhale the arms up here. Let's actually do some big circles. And the next time the arms come around, open up. So holding here, clasping your hands behind your back if you'd like. Now placing your hands down around your right foot, we're going to begin to shift back. This is pretty intense for the hamstrings. So if you need blocks, if you need props, make sure that you're grabbing what you need. If you even need to step away to go grab them, grab something. So if you're tight through the hamstrings here, bend your knee a little extra or use props to elevate the body. Good. All right, now we are going to do a shift forward. And as we shift forward here, curl the left toes under, maybe slide that left foot in just a little bit extra, and then continue the walk forward. Lift your left leg up into the air. This is a modified version or variation of Warrior 3, and this will come in handy a little bit later should you need to modify one of our flows today. Good, now we are going to set the left foot back and find our lunge again. So you're back in your lunge, and let's step the right foot back to join the left. Find down dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale to bring the knee in and step the foot through. Good, and then we're dropping that back knee to the floor. Again, creating this space. All right, so I'm realizing this shirt was probably not the best idea, so note to self. All right, so right here, checking that front knee again, making sure the knee is right over the heel, creating that space between that front heel and the back knee. And then just allowing your hips to sink forward here. Finding that nice stretch through the hip flexor. Oh, very nice. Oh, that feels so good. All right, and then let's do our shift back. So we're shifting back into our half splits, half monkey god pose is another name for this pose. So again, don't worry about how close you are to your leg. Bend your knee a little extra if you need to. Elevate the body if you need to. Keep sending your left hip back. So that left hip may want to come forward. Keep sending it back. And then let's shift our weight. We are going to walk forward, curl the right toes under, lift that right leg up into the air. Good, and then find your variation of Warrior 3 here. Beautiful, you guys. I know it's beautiful. I know that you guys are doing an excellent job. All right, and then let's shift back or just drop those right toes to the mat. We're back in our lunge. We'll step the left foot back to join the right. Find your down dog. All right, right here, you can flow, plank, up dog, down dog, or you could just hang out in down dog, or you could find a child's pose. So from this point on, these optional flows are exactly that, optional. So you can decide whether or not you add in a plank, up dog, down dog, however you want to add it in, or if you want to add it in at all. All right, now we're moving through a few things here that will hopefully get your heart rate up a little bit, but that's our intention really is to stretch out and feel good, strengthen as well. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale to bring the knee in and step the foot through. Check that front knee. Your knee should be right over your heel. Let's inhale to bring the arms up. So you are lunging through that front leg, strengthening through this leg, stretching through this back leg. So really try to straighten out through the back leg as much as you can. Arms are extended up, shoulders are down your back. All right, we're going to add a little movement here. So we'll bring the arms down. As you inhale, straighten out through the front leg, bring the arms up. As you exhale, release back down. 2 more like that. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to lower. And 1 more time. Inhale, lift. And exhale to lower. Good. Keep your balance. Stay nice and strong here. Bring the arms back up. And we're going to twist. So you're going to twist toward the knee that's bent. So we're twisting toward the right. The right arm extends back, the left arm forward. And then we'll inhale to come center. Exhale to twist. Inhale, bring the arms center up. Exhale to twist, arms parallel to the floor. And bring the arms center. Good, so stay strong here. We're going to work a little bit through balance. So you may want to slide that back foot in just a little bit. Find some spot that's out in front of you that is not moving that you can focus on. Quiet your mind. And then we're going to shift again and come up into a Warrior 3. So strong through that back leg as much as this front leg. I know you can feel that front leg. And then gently let's return to our crescent lunge. Take a full breath in here. As you exhale, lift. It doesn't have to be a big lift. It can be just a small lift, working on balance. So important to work on balance every day. And then gently bringing those toes back to your mat. We have one more round. Take a full breath in. Exhale to lift. Perfect. And then gently bringing those toes back to your mat. We're going to bring our hands down around our right foot. Step the right foot back to join the left. Find down dog. Let's go right to the other side. Inhale to extend that left leg up. Exhale to bring the knee in and step the foot through. Inhale to rise all the way up. Crescent lunge. So finding that lunge here, finding your balance, finding the strength in both legs. Of course, that front leg, you can feel that, but the back leg as well. Keep pressing through the ball mount of the foot. Keep extending back through that back leg. Arms are extended up, shoulders down your back. And now we'll add a little movement. So bringing the arms down. As you inhale, straighten up through that front leg and the arms, and then exhale to lower down. 2 more, just like that. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 1 more time. Inhale, lift. And exhale to lower. Good. Bringing the arms back up. Take a full breath in here. As you exhale, you're twisting toward your bent leg. So the left arm extends back, right arm forward, and then sweeping that back arm down and around, turn and face front. Let's twist again, extending. And then down and around, turn and face front. 1 more time here, twisting. Good, and then let's come back to center. All right, 3 times we have to work on, we're going to work on balance. So we're coming from this crescent lunge, we're going to warrior 3. So again, you may want to slide that back foot in just a little bit. Strong through both legs. Take a full breath, exhaling to lift off. Really sending energy through that back leg. That front leg, I know that's working. But stay strong through the back leg as well. Gently touching back down. Take a full breath. Exhaling to lift. Good, and then gently touching back down. Full breath in. Exhale to lift. Good, and then gently touching back down, finding your crescent lunge, hands down around your front foot. Step the front foot back, finding your down dog, stay right here, or optional flow. Good, and then we're meeting in down dog. Now, again, making sure that you find, take a little rest anytime you need a little rest. We are going to go right to that our second flow. We have 3 of them today. All right. Take a full breath as you inhale that right leg up. Exhale to bring the knee in and step the foot through. Turn your back foot on its side and windmill up to a warrior 2. Good. So you're lunging through that front leg just for a second here. This position of the legs is really helpful in preparation for an extended triangle, which is where we are actually going. So straighten out through your front leg. So both legs are straight. Let's take a quick second to check in with the placement of the feet. The right toes are facing straight ahead, or your front foot straight ahead toward the front end of your mat. Your back foot is parallel with the back end of your mat. We'll stay there with that parallel back foot. If you were to draw a line from your right heel, it would intersect with the arch to the heel of your left foot. So checking in, Theo, how you doing? Hopefully you're doing well here. Extending the arms parallel with the floor. We're going to inhale, reach to the front of your mat as you exhale. 2 more, just like that. Inhale to come back up to center. Exhale to reach. Good. 1 more time. Inhale, come to center. Exhale to reach, and this time we're going to tilt and find triangle. The right hand to the shin, to your block, to your Jif jar. Just kidding. All right, right here. Making sure you're not dumping into that right arm. So instead, staying strong through the core. We are going to flow a couple of times here, and then we're actually going to change things up. So inhale to flow up and back to find an exalted version of this triangle pose. And exhale to flow forward. Again, inhale. Oh, just so nice and easy. There's no rush. And exhale to flow. Just feel that nice long stretch. Keep the arms long. 1 more time. Inhale to flow up and back, finding that exalted version of your triangle. And exhale to flow forward. And let's hang out here in triangle for a couple more breaths. So once again, making sure that you're dumping into that right arm. Keep the core strong, keep it engaged. Keep drawing that left shoulder back. And you may want to look up to that left thumb. You may want to look down to your right foot. All right, now let's come back up so that we are parallel to the floor. The arms are parallel to the floor. And then we're going to turn our upper body to face this front leg. Shift your back foot in, and we're shifting it in. So now there is maybe 1 to 2 feet between, actually we'll go 2 feet. 2 feet between your heels, and your left toes are facing up toward that left upper corner of your mat. All right, now let's bring the hands to the hips. Or you could extend your arms out if you want a little more core strengthening. But if you're a little unsure at this point, just keep your hands to your hips. Leading with the heart, hinging forward from the hip, we are going to fold halfway until the body is parallel with the floor. Or maybe it's not parallel, maybe you are here instead. So finding where you need to be. This is an intense stretch for that front hamstring. You can stay here with the hands to the hips. You could bring your arms out if you want a little more core strengthening. You could cradle your elbows behind your back if you want a little more for the shoulders. Good. And then we are folding passively over the front leg. Just let yourself relax. This is again where those blocks come in handy. Or blocks or any props that may help to elevate the body or support the body, should you need that. All right, now right here, your left hand will stay to the floor. The right arm is going to extend up. This is called revolved triangle. So right here, just checking in. It's hard here without you really need to visualize your hips square to the floor because things are going to happen here, but just keep trying to visualize that those hips square to the floor as you extend the right arm up. There's a lot going on. So no perfection, just finding where you need to be. All right, our last pose in this series. Yep, there is one more. Hold on with me. We are going to find a revolved half moon pose. And so you may choose to stay right here. You may choose to do that walk forward like we did earlier, where you're walking the fingertips forward and lifting that left leg up into the air. Or maybe those left fingertips can stay to the floor and the right arm extends up. Revolved half moon. So the left leg is extended, good, and the left fingertips are to the floor, the right arm is extended as well. So much going on. And I'm sure you're feeling that, maybe feeling that through that right leg. Hang on, one more breath. Now let's gently return to a lunge. The left toes will come back to the mat. The right foot goes back to join the left, find down dog. And actually let's stay right here, or let's flow, or find child's pose. Good, so you're choosing where you need to be. Are you ready for that other side? Yes, we are ready. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale to bring the knee in and step the foot through. All right, so I'm going to turn and face you guys again. Let's find our warrior two here to start. So you're lunging through that front leg. It's just a really good place to start. A good indication of where the legs need to be. Now let's straighten out through the front leg. Check in and make sure everything is lined up the way it needs to be. Arms extended nice and long. Take a full breath in. Exhale to reach toward the front of your mat. Inhale to come back up to center. Exhale to reach. Good. And one more. Inhale, center. Exhale, reach. And tilt. Oh, it feels so good. Right here, we are in a triangle pose. Again, not dumping into that left arm. Instead, stay strong through your core. This pose for me, can you hear my back crack maybe on Facebook Live? I'm not sure. But this is like a chiropractor treatment for me. This pose is amazing. All right, now we are going to flow. Inhale to flow up and back, exalted triangle. And then exhale to return to your triangle. No rush. Inhale to flow up and back. In fact, if I'm going a little more quickly than you would like to, you have the option to slow down. And then exhale, fold into your triangle. One more time here. Inhale, flow up and back. And exhale to flow forward. Find triangle. And we are going to hang out here for a couple more breaths. So tuck your bottom under. Press the hips toward the wall in front of you. Keep that right shoulder back, so don't worry about how far over you're coming. Instead, keep both sides of the body, try and keep them both equal. So if we're sinking in here, just try and be mindful of that. All right, and yabbering on. All right, let's come back up here to center and then shift your body so that you're facing that front leg. And then let's slide that back foot in. Once again, we're going to find where our feet are about 2 feet apart from each other, heel to heel, 2 feet. Right toes facing up toward the right upper corner of your mat. And then we are turning the upper body to face the straight leg. Keep the knee soft. Keep your left knee soft as you hinge forward here. Lead with your heart. And then you have those options that we talked about the last time around. Maybe you send the arms forward for a little more core strengthening. Maybe you cradle your elbows behind your back and open up through the shoulders, or even a prayer position behind your back. But make sure you are not locking out this front knee. Stay soft through the knee. Good. And now passively fold over your front leg. Just let yourself relax as much as you can. If you're tight through the hamstrings, this may require a little extra bend in the knee. Your right fingertips will stay to the floor. The left arm extends up. We are going to find that revolved triangle pose. So revolved triangle. I'm going to actually shift this way. I want to, yeah, great job, you guys. I see some comments there. Thank you for those comments. All right, so you're in your revolved triangle. Now slide your right fingertips out. Lift your right leg up into the air. Lift your left arm up. Maybe you decide, no, facing the floor is the best thing for me today. That's all right. Energize that right leg. Stay strong through that right leg. Good. Now we are gently returning to a lunge. Right foot steps or left foot steps back to join your right. Find down dog. Stay right here, or optional flow. Plank, up dog, down dog. And then let's either stay in down dog or drop your knees, press back, extended child's pose. This is a couple of breaths that you can take on your own, breathing those full breaths. And you know what, today, I just love being with you guys so much. I wish that I had more than 45 minutes. We are going to save our last flow for next week. So I hope to see you then. But right here, you're either in child's pose or you are in down dog, and you're just taking a few breaths here, really focusing in, really relaxing. And down dog is really intended to be a resting posture. Sometimes it might not feel like that. All right, right here, from here, let's all meet on, we're actually going to do a couple of things here. So if you will, Thunderbolt pose is not for everyone. So if you'll see, I'm sitting back on my heels here, and it might be that this is not good for your knees. It might feel like it just is, knees is the big thing. If it's not feeling good on your knees, just find a seated posture. And then what I'd like you to do, hopefully you do have your strap or a towel. We aren't going to be here real long, but we're going to stretch through the shoulders just a little bit, because if you've been sitting at a computer or on your phone or whatever, a lot of this has been happening. So we're going to try and stretch this out. And if you don't have a towel or a strap today, this could be your homework for this week. All right, so grabbing a pretty good distance, having a pretty good distance between your hands. We're going to bring the strap or the towel back down by the hips or by the legs. Inhale to bring the arms up, and exhale just back until you feel that stretch. Holy moly, I haven't done this for so long. That feels amazing. And if you don't have your strap and you're saying, I want that to feel amazing, then again, take some time this week to stretch out through the front of those shoulders. Wow, feels good. Good, again, we're not gonna do this one. We're just gonna hang out here one more breath. So if you don't have your strap, don't feel like you're missing out yet, or that you are wasting your time. We are coming back for you. All right, now let's release that towel or your strap, and we are going to move into everyone's favorite pose, and one that I think is really beneficial if you are seated a lot, pigeon pose. So a couple of ways to get there. You can be on all fours and go to pigeon from there. You could be coming in from down dog. I'm going to take it from all fours today, but if you do feel better from down dog, feel free. Let's inhale the right leg up. As you exhale, bring your knee in behind your right wrist. If you're in all fours position, then you're going to need to extend that left leg back. And regardless of whether or not you came in from down dog or all fours, you may want to take a quick look back there. Make sure your left leg is straight behind you. You may even want to curl the toes under, lift the kneecap up off the mat, just gently slide back a little bit, and then release the knee and the foot to the floor. All right, right here, you can open up for a second, or you can fold forward right away. When you fold forward, stay real mindful of the length of the spine and that you're not just sinking in. Stay long. In fact, if you want to use your block or prop or your fist to support your head, that might be a really helpful thing. So we want to stay long through the spine. Sometimes we inadvertently just relax the head and the neck, and we're getting some stretching through the head and the neck that we may already be getting a lot of. In fact, I don't know, I've heard recently about, so just stay where you are. I'm going to chat with you just for a second, that we do so much protruding forward that there are a lot of chiropractors that are quite busy. Chiropractors or whomever is helping, massage therapists, to get some relief from this protruding forward that we're doing, looking at computers in front of us or looking at our phones. So that's just a reminder for when you are doing your pigeon pose. You don't need to be doing that again here, just kind of really sinking in. Are you tired of me talking? That was a lot of stuff. Sorry about that. It was just really interesting to me. All right. Now, come on up, and we are going to either return to down dog or all fours. So curling those back toes under, and you can decide whether or not you go to down dog or you go back to all fours. You could walk the dog, you could roll through the hips here. And then let's move to the other side. So same thing here. We are going to inhale that left leg up, and then bring your left knee in behind your left wrist. So you're checking to see that your knee is outside your left shoulder and that your hips are square to the floor. Right here, it's really easy to sink off to one side. So if you find that that's an issue, you may want to use a block underneath that hip that's up, just to give it a little extra support. All right, right leg straight behind you, folding forward whenever you're ready. So I won't talk quite as much this time around, but just be mindful again of your head, your neck, making sure that you're not just allowing it to fold or sink without being mindful of where your head and your neck and shoulders are positioned. Breathe those beautiful breaths. In fact, with your breaths, see if you can soften down. We'll stay here about 3 more breaths. Perfect. Now let's slowly begin to walk back up. Sit down onto your left hip and swing your legs around to the front of your mat. Shake them out here. It might feel good. All right, before we move on to our backs and finish things up, let's do a little core strengthening. So in our plank pose, we end up getting core strength from gravity pulling us in one direction. Now we are going to change that up. So with this particular pose, boat pose, you have gravity pulling you in a different direction. So the core is working a little differently here. So sit up nice and tall, place the soles of your feet to your mat. And you can place your hands behind your thighs if you'd like for a little extra support, but sit up tall, hinge back, feel that core engage. And that might be where you choose to stay today, but you do have the option to add a little bit more. Maybe the feet come up off the floor. Maybe you release your hands and extend the arms. Maybe you extend your arms by your ears. Maybe you extend your legs up. All of those things are options, but as you make those transitions or those changes, notice what happens. Did you sink in? Can you extend and lift and stay lifted? All right, so strengthening here. It's an isometric contraction for the abdominals. It's strengthening through the back, really the isometric as well. That just means holding and strengthening. So make sure you are breathing as you hold here. 2 more breaths. Hold on. Breathe. Beautiful. Now, see if you can do this. Completely optional. Maybe from here, you bring your arms across your chest and you begin to lower the legs and you begin to lower the arms all the way down slowly to your mat. Slow, slow, slow. And then once you are down, do that long stretch, reaching your fingertips in one direction and your toes in the other. Good. Now, right here, bringing your knees into your chest, we're going to do a few, I'm going to tell you a few options for your twist today. And of course, you can choose which one is best. Maybe you keep your legs just as they are. Maybe you find a figure 4 with right now the right ankle will be above the left knee, or maybe you cross your right leg all the way over your left. Extend your arms out to the side. It could be goalpost arms. It could be arms in the shape of a T. Shift your hips a little toward the right edge of your mat, and then gently drop your legs, however you decided to configure them, over to that left side. And then maybe you turn and look to your right. Good. Feel that nice stretch, that twist. Slowly bring your legs back to center, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. So let's begin by shifting the hips back to center to start. Maybe you keep your knees stacked one on top of the other. Maybe you find figure 4. Maybe you find a full cross. Shift your hips now toward the left edge of your mat, just a little bit. And then again, arms are extended, gently bringing your legs over to that right side and turning to look to your left for a little neck stretch here. Ooh, this should feel good to you, especially again, if you've been doing some sitting this week. Again, I've seen a lot of people out walking, running, bicycling, and a lot of families doing it together, which is so wonderful to see. Pets are getting a lot of extra walks too, which is great, I'm sure, for them. All right, slowly bring your knees back into center, uncross your legs, and find any other pose here that would feel good for you. So we did not do an inversion together. This is your opportunity. You could extend your arms and your legs in the air. You could find a happy baby pose, keeping that tailbone connected with your mat, but drawing the knees in toward the shoulders, grabbing to the arch of the foot, either from the inside or the outside. If you decide to grab inside, maybe you grab to the ankles instead. You could do a little rock from side to side. A bridge pose here, a wheel pose, a shoulder stand, a plow. So feel free to find an inversion, or maybe you find a twist because we didn't get it quite enough on one side for you. So taking just a few more breaths, a couple more breaths here to find what feels good. What do you need to end your practice before we finalize our practice together? All right, and then moving to your final pose. So that might be extending your feet down toward the bottom corners of your mat, extending your arms. You can even go wide with this, maybe like a starfish, extending the arms wide, extending the legs wide. That might feel good. But you also have the option to bring the hands to the belly. You could bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. You could bring the soles of the feet together, let the knees fall out to the side. Once again, lots of options. So finding where you want to be to end your practice. So I'm going to find seated, but you stay on your back, please. And close your eyes. This is such an important part of a yoga practice. It's an opportunity to let all of those good things that we did for our bodies, let it all sink in, the lengthening, the strengthening, just the mindful breath, the mind-body awareness. Again, let that all sink in here. Really finding this connection, this awareness of your breath. And I'm focusing in on one thing these last few weeks. I'm going to continue to do that. Just because we have the opportunity with us all the time to use our breath for what we need. When you inhale, just notice how that inhale can bring you energy. The nourishing breath that you inhale fully. The exhale is an opportunity to release and relax and soften. So sometimes we might need to focus on one particular aspect of the breath, giving us energy, giving us that peace that we need. Or maybe it's a combination of both, but you have this tool with you all the time. So now allow yourself to focus in on that beautiful, natural rhythm of your breath. We'll stay here a few more breaths. Come on. Sorry, you guys. And now bring some gentle movements to your fingers and your toes. Maybe stretch out nice and long, maybe roll through the wrists. Come on up to seated. Take your time to get there. Feel free to keep your eyes closed. And let's take one more big deep breath in together. Bring your arms all the way up. Stretch up nice and long. As you exhale, your hands come to your heart. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, for being connected with me regardless of our distance. I'm so grateful for all of you, and I hope to see you again soon, or even next week on Facebook Live. Namaste, my friends. Thank you. Sorry, you almost saw my daughter walk out of her bedroom. That might not have been good this morning. All right, I hope to see you again next week. Bye.